Hey guys, welcome to another video. Welcome back to our channel. Today we will be doing a review of Season 7, Love is Blind. Last season was not hot at all. It was filled with disappointments. Persons only came on the show to eat food and have sex. Let's see if this season will be better. In Season 7, 7 couples took the plunge and got engaged. But who has made it to the altar and said, "I do"? And who has already called it quits before the wedding? Here's the latest on the couples and whether they're still together. Garrett, a 33-year-old quantum physicist, and Taylor, a 30-year-old clean energy policy consultant, were the first couple to get engaged in the pods this season. From the start, their connection was strong, with only one notable hurdle. Taylor chose not to reveal her ethnicity before they met, wanting to ensure her appearance wouldn't influence Garrett's perception of her. Garrett respected her decision and responded with warmth, strengthening their bond. On their trip to Mexico, the couple continued to grow even closer. As the season progressed, they seemed to be one of the most solid pairs, with a strong chance of saying, "I do" at the altar. But like any relationship, they've faced their share of challenges. When it came time to meet the families, Garrett's mother found the idea of her son getting married overwhelming, while Taylor's parents opted out of appearing on camera. Instead, she introduced Garrett to her friends, who seemed to like him. Their biggest obstacle? Deciding where to live. Taylor wants to move to San Diego to start a family, an idea Garrett was open to in the pods. However, in reality, his family is struggling with the thought of him relocating. Despite this, Garrett still appears to be on board with the move. If we were betting on any couple making it down the aisle this season, Garrett and Taylor would be our top pick. Next up, the disappointing Tyler and Ashley. Their in-person meeting couldn't have gone better, as both were clearly thrilled with their match. During their trip to Mexico, the couple only grew closer, and by the time they returned to D.C., they were off to a strong start. The move-in went smoothly, and Ashley, who was nervous about introducing Tyler to her father, was relieved when the meeting went well. Her dad seemed to approve of Tyler. But just as everything seemed to be falling into place, Tyler dropped a bombshell. Off camera, he revealed that he is the biological father of 3 children, conceived through sperm donation to help a couple in need. Ashley was blindsided, not just by the news itself, but by how late Tyler had shared such a major detail. This revelation has left her questioning whether she can trust him. While Ashley struggles with the breach of trust, Tyler remains hopeful they can work through the issue. We'll have to wait and see how things unfold for them in the coming episodes. Next couple, Tim and Alexandria. 33-year-old web content strategist Tim and 33-year-old producer Alexandra fell in love in the pods and got closer with Tim, revealing heartfelt stories from his childhood and talking about the trauma of losing his sister. Tim began his proposal by revealing the letter he wrote to Alexandra's father, asking for her permission for marriage. They met for the first time in episode 4 after Tim proposed and seemed to be happy with what they saw in each other. However, when they went to Mexico with the rest of the couples, they ran into some problems. Alexandra went quiet on Tim and didn't reveal this was because she felt homesick. Instead, she shut down and didn't open up to her partner. When trying to have a conversation about it, Tim claimed Alexandra put her hands over his mouth to stop him talking. At the end of the first set of episodes, there was a big question over whether these two would continue, but they stayed in Mexico and seemed to patch things up. When they return home, they're on a positive path, with Alex introducing Tim to her family, which results in Tim reading the letter he wrote in the pods, which reduces Alex's dad to tears. Maybe these two will be saying, "I do" at the altar. Next couple, Nick and Hannah. Nick, a 29-year-old real estate professional, and Hannah, a 26-year-old medical device sales rep, developed a connection in the pods, with Nick often praising Hannah's depth. However, Hannah initially had doubts about Nick, worried that he was too much of a smooth talker and not always genuine. As a result, she broke things off to pursue a connection with another contestant, Leo. But after reconsidering, she decided to reconnect with Nick, and the two ultimately got engaged. Their first in-person meeting was a bit awkward, with Nick commenting on how tall Hannah was. Things didn't get much smoother during their Mexico trip. Hannah felt a bit of the ick after watching Nick ride a plastic duck, and Nick was hurt when he found a list of things Hannah didn't like about him. Despite these bumps, they ended the trip on a positive note, both agreeing to work on their relationship. However, upon returning home, Hannah's concerns about Nick's maturity resurfaced. She was disappointed to discover he still lived with his parents, didn't know how to cook pasta, and struggled with tasks like mounting a TV. On the bright side, meeting each other's families went well, and both gained valuable insight into their partner through their loved ones' perspectives. Whether these two can overcome their differences and say "I do" remains to be seen. But there are signs they could make it work. Next couple, Ramses and Marissa. Ramses, a 35-year-old program associate at a justice reform nonprofit, and Marissa, a 32-year-old lawyer and former Navy officer, were the final couple to meet in person on the show. Marissa started off in a love triangle, torn between Ramses and another pod member, Bodan. But as their dates progressed, her feelings for Ramses deepened, and the pair got engaged. At the start of their Mexico trip, their connection seemed incredibly strong and undeniably cute. However, things soon became more complicated. Marissa's military background emerged as a point of tension between them. Marissa, proud of her Navy service, felt judged by Ramses, who expressed opposition to the military as an institution. During a difficult conversation, Ramses revealed he didn't think he could be with Marissa if she ever chose to rejoin the Navy. The challenges continued when they returned home. Marissa's mom put Ramses on the spot, questioning his job, his fashion sense, and whether he'd sign a prenup. Though they navigated through that tough meeting, the couple hit another stumbling block when discussing birth control. Marissa expressed she didn't want to go on it, while Ramses wasn't ready for children and felt uncertain about using condoms. With growing tensions and unresolved issues, things are looking uncertain for Ramses and Marissa's future together. Next couple, Stephen and Monica. Stephen, a 34-year-old electrician, and Monica, a 37-year-old sales executive, bonded over deep conversations about politics, work, and family in the pods, leading to their engagement. When they met in person, Stephen even got down on one knee again to present Monica with a new ring. However, their connection began to falter during their Mexico trip. Monica grew frustrated, saying Stephen talked too much and left her little space to speak. She also mentioned that while Stephen wasn't the hottest person there, he was the hottest to her. Things worsened as the honeymoon continued. Monica criticized Stephen's lack of effort, and their differing financial backgrounds became a source of tension. Stephen's admission of being nervous about getting married further irritated Monica, and she struggled to deal with his constant talking. Back in D.C., the couple tried to reconnect by doing a flower pressing workshop, which went fairly well. But the situation took a turn when Stephen revealed he had been fired from his job while they were in Cabo. Monica, stepping in to help, offered to financially support him while he searched for a new job. But the final straw came when Monica discovered off-camera that Stephen had been sending sexual messages to another woman. Though Stephen admitted his mistake and apologized, Monica couldn't move past the betrayal. She demanded Stephen reimburse her for all the expenses she had covered during their relationship. With that, the relationship came to an end. Next couple, Leo and Brittany. Leo, a 31-year-old art dealer, and Brittany, a 33-year-old esthetician, had one of the most dramatic storylines of the season, and we're only 6 episodes in. The pair initially connected well in the pods, having honest conversations about money and their insecurities. However, their journey was far from smooth. Leo had also developed feelings for Hannah, but when Hannah chose Nick over him, Brittany felt like Leo's second choice. Despite this, Brittany eventually moved past it, and the two got engaged. When they met in person, Leo was overjoyed, calling Brittany the hottest girl in the world, while Brittany, though happy, was more hesitant, still processing the fact that she was engaged. However, a screen then appeared, revealing that Leo and Brittany were not one of the 6 couples selected by Netflix to continue on the show and head to Mexico. Instead, the couple took their own trip to Miami, but broke up just a few weeks later.